So, you have seen that there's perhaps a little bit of diversity in how people think about neurodiversity, that we can't all necessarily agree on a single definition, and that might be a bit of a problem because if we can't agree what we're talking about, then that makes it much less likely that we'll agree on whether neurodiversity is actually a good thing or not. Now, I do think, though, that we can more or less pin down three really central ideas that I think a lot of us could agree on, that a lot of neurodiversity advocates could agree on. The first of these ideas, and the most obvious, is that human societies do need a diversity of minds and brains, that we all thought in exactly the same way, that our society would be the worse for it. And I know Judy Singer is going to be talking to you later, and she was pulling this idea out of biodiversity, this idea that just as diversity of species is good for ecosystems, so diversity of minds and brains is good for societies. And this is the core of neurodiversity. But it seems as though perhaps there's still this confusion about how do we apply this to specific individuals? What does that mean for specific individuals? And there, I think almost every neurodiversity advocate would agree that you have to accept the individual for who they are and not make the goal be changing them into somebody that they're not, because that would be rejecting them for who they are, which is problematic. To say that there's something wrong with somebody. It doesn't necessarily mean that people never change or develop. Neurotypicals change and develop, but it does mean that we don't tell people that they're deficient somehow. And then finally, I think the last of these three really central ideas in the neurodiversity paradigm is that when we're not ignoring the role of the individual, we're also recognizing that the challenges they face can be related to the society around them. So we can see this very clearly in autism and stuttering because we know that there's all these negative social judgments and evaluations that people are making, and can we really blame that on the neurodivergent person and not on the people who are making these negative judgments? So I think those are the really central ideas of neurodiversity, that diverse minds and brains are a good thing, that we have to accept people for who they are, and that we can't ignore the role of society in all of this.